Hi, I'm Dr. Manmohan. I'm from Kerala and an Ayurvedic practitioner over the last 34 years. One of the disease categories that I happen to specialize in is autoimmune conditions, autoimmune diseases that are caused by the compromising of the immune system, thanks to our exposure to the stress levels that we happen to encounter either at the workspace or at home, or due to circumstances that we happen to go through in life, knowingly or unknowingly. Irrespective of what the disease happens to be, as long as it is something that happens due to a consequence of compromising of the immune system, it needs Ayurveda with a combination of yoga. And this is where Vajra, Ayurveda and Yoga Retreat happens to be in the fore. This is a place located about an hour from the Cochin International Airport in Kerala and smack in the middle of a forest in the Western Ghats. Well, when I mean forest, it is tropical forest. It doesn't rain all through the year, but it maintains a setting which is quite amicable for any form of healing. And that is so important because when we speak about Ayurveda, we know it is natural, it has a herbal preparations as medicines, whether for external applications, for internal consumption. It also has the same herbal medications for the external therapies like the potleys, the massages, etc. But along with that, along with the natural diet that your doctor will be prescribing you during the course of the treatment program, and along with the yoga, the therapeutic yoga, which the yoga teacher will be helping you with, the ambience matters. Nature in all its natural and tranquil presence is very much abundant around this place. There are a lot of time in between the therapy sessions, the yoga sessions, as well as your eating time, in which you need to move around apart from being just in the room. And being just in the room is not so good when you have the natural ability to move around. And this is where the settings matters. Here you can see yourself walking around in nature. You can go to the nearby natural stream. Well, it's part of a river, a tributary, where you are listening to the water flowing along the rocks. And why I say these settings need to be used while you are in the treatment center during the treatment program is because its implications on the healing of the disease. We need to, at a center where you undergo treatments, whether it is for 14 days, 21 days or 28 days, it only instigates, it only happens to give you a platform to launch yourself into a healing mode. But the sustaining of that healing has to be done over the next 3, 6 to 8 months after you leave the program, after you leave the center. How that can be sustained depends upon what you go through while you are during the treatment period. And this is where I put a lot of emphasis on the alleviation of stress during the treatment program. And that is why those birds the sounds of which you can hear during this conversation, listening to them frolic, and listening to the rustle of the leaves in the breeze, as well as to the water flowing in the river nearby, all matters, because that creates in its totality an environment which is conducive to bring you into that space of healing. And this is what Vajra is all about. There are 4 important aspects for any form of healing that is so paramount to any physician of Ayurveda. That happens to be the appropriate modifications or corrections that one has to advise the patient in terms of his or her lifestyle. So, lifestyle changes is very important. In Ayurveda, we call it vihara in Sanskrit. The second one is the changes in the diet one is used to. So, we are all habituated to certain likes and dislikes, and accordingly, we are often prey to our senses. To be specific, our taste buds. So, we have a liking towards certain things which our body necessarily doesn't like, which happens to manifest in that particular disease. So, the appropriate modifications in the diet is so important depending upon your body constitution. The third happens to be, yes, the herbal and the natural medications which you are supposed to have on a daily basis for the prescribed period of time. And the fourth one happens to be your surroundings, your habitat. Like the one over here in Vajra, Ayurveda and Yoga Retreat is something which is special in terms of its naturality. And this is what makes this place also special, and the treatments you undergo over here special. The greenery, the trees, the woods, the birds and the animals. Well, of course, if you're lucky, you can hear and see a couple of herds of elephants as well, because it is in such a natural setting that Vajra happens to be in. Well, I would consider this as all part of the treatment and the healing process. So, you're welcome to Vajra.